Schizophrenia is an illness that alters the way you think, create relationships, and even manage emotions. Hallucinations, disorganized thinking, and delusions are just some symptoms of schizophrenia, but some cases are more traumatic. Schizophrenia can be found in approximately 1.1% of the world's population, regardless of racial, ethnic, or economic background. The most common symptom of schizophrenia is the auditory hallucinations. For someone experiencing the auditory hallucinations, they are very realistic to them, and it can be confusing for others to witness someone experiencing those hallucinations. The voices that schizophrenics hear can either be calming, critical, or even violent. The voices can scream, curse, and or make you do things that you wouldn't necessarily do. Another symptom is known as negative symptoms, which can be confused with clinical depression. Schizophrenics may show no interest in living and could also cause self-harm. Some causes of schizophrenia are the complicated structures of genetics, brain chemistry, environment, and even substance abuse. Although there is no cure for schizophrenia, there are some ways to treat it. Schizophrenia is a mental illness that affects about 3.5 million people in the U.S. Signs of schizophrenia can affect children by the age of 6 and sometimes not even appear until the age of 25. Schizophrenia can be obtained through genetics, for example, through a history of family psychosis. About 1% of the population is affected by schizophrenia, and the risk of having the illness increases by abusing drugs. Marijuana is one drug that is associated with the cause of schizophrenia because it increases the risk of psychotic meltdowns. Along with drugs, environment also plays a role in causing schizophrenia. For example, being exposed to viruses early on during birth can increase the risk. Schizophrenia can affect anyone, and that even includes celebrities and musicians who are well known. One famous celebrity that was diagnosed with schizophrenia was Jack Kerouac, a novelist and poet most famously known for On the Road. While in the Navy, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, which is why his enlistment only lasted 10 months. Sadly, one of the greatest poets passed away due to a hemorrhage in the liver, which was caused by multiple years of heavy drinking. Some even say that his alcoholism was caused by his need for quieting the voices in his head.
After he passed away, Jan Kerouac, his daughter, talked about the way he coped with his diagnosis in an interview.
I guess he was very accustomed to hiding his feelings at this point, after a whole life of it or something. And, well, I guess the only way his feelings came out was in his writing. So he just kind of, as they were screaming to him from the doorway, all this stuff, he just went, ah, which is one of his famous gestures.
Along with Jack Kerouac, a well-known mathematician by the name of John Nash was also diagnosed with schizophrenia. After months of denying his diagnosis, Nash finally came to the realization and stated in an autobiography, "And it did happen that when I had been long enough hospitalized that I would finally renounce my delusional hypotheses and revert to thinking of myself as a human of more conventional circumstances and return to mathematical research." A normal diagnosis takes at least 6 months in order to fully begin the treatment process. Although there is no absolute cure, there are ways to treat the illness. One treatment is antipsychotic medications, which can help reduce symptoms in order to continue and enhance the treatment process. Another way to treat schizophrenia is psychotherapy, where the patient talks to a trained therapist in order to understand their illness. Psychotherapy also includes talking openly in front of a group or with friends in a supportive community. One example is called cognitive behavioral therapy, which is meant to focus on a person's destructive decisions and reevaluate. Interpersonal therapy is another form of treatment that focuses on personal relationships with others. Interpersonal therapy allows them to learn and understand new ways to positively connect with people around them. Lastly, another form of treatment is therapeutic pets, which can help a patient by reducing stress, anxiety, and negative thoughts. Dealing with schizophrenia is tough because it alters what you see and hear. People affected by the mental illness have a hard time forming relationships due to the way the schizophrenic mind works. Although there is still no cure for schizophrenia, doctors are continuing treatments in order to benefit people going through this mental illness.